Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So my name is Fateni Asha. Uh, in this video, I will discuss about uh, my reading report about second language learning in and brief history about it. So understanding the second language learning research. So, in early theories and brief history, there is a called constructive analysis. So, like uh, researchers researchers use uh, no uh, researchers use something called constructive analysis. Like imagine you're trying to predict how hard it will be for someone to learn a new language based on their native language like us. So uh, we try to learn English language, and if the new language is very different from their native language, it was thought to be harder to learn. So mm, uh, if the new language was similar to their native language, so it is become so it was thought to be easier, right? Because uh, the language is similar with uh, with our language. So and however, this approach didn't always work out. Teachers found that sometimes what was expected to be difficult wasn't, and what was supposed to be easy turned out to be hard. And for instance, English, English and French, uh, no, English and Indonesian language have different ways of placing object pronouns. So, uh, and according to the first material is contrast constructive analysis. English speakers uh, Indonesian speakers should struggle with this because they learn English language and hard to learn because the different pronouns and uh, also make a mistake. Uh, I think that is what I what the meaning of constructive. So uh, I read about uh, I read about error analysis. So because constructive analysis, uh, constructive analysis didn't always predict language learning difficulties accurately, researchers shift focus to error analysis, and instead of just like they they're comparing languages, they began to study the actual mistakes learner make they discovered that many errors didn't come from the learner's native language at all. Like, for examples, uh, Indonesia speakers learning English might make mistake with plurals, even though plurals are similar in both language. Maybe that is about error analysis, and this shift, this shift help researchers understand that errors errors are not always about interference from the native language. So uh, the next I read about the concept of interlanguage around the early 1970s, and a researcher named uh, named Selinker introduced the concept of interlanguage. Think of interlanguage as a learner unique version of the new language. It's like a mix of their native language, new language, and their own learning process. Interlanguage is a dynamic, uh, like dynamic and evolves over time. And this idea highlighted that learners have their own system and rules that change as they learn more about the new language. So maybe that's that is happened in 1970s. So the next I read about mm, morpheme studies that I already take the course in third semester. So morpheme, yeah, morpheme. So important development was morpheme studies. So the morpheme studies are the smallest units of meaning in language, like as for plurals or ed for past tense. And so researchers studied how learners acquire these small parts of language. So they found that there is a consistent order in which learner pick up these morphemes. So, like for instance, children and adults learning English tend to learn plurals before learning past tense. So it is no matter their first language. So the next is criticism and findings. So these morpheme studies did face criticism, and mainly because of how the researchers uh, measures language learning. So, like for example, some argue that measuring how uh, accurately learners use morphemes might not perfectly reflect their understanding. Hmm. And so what else? And despite the criticism, the basic idea that uh, there there is a predictable order to learning morphemes remain strong. And these findings show that learners follow certain stage certain stage in their uh, development, which can be similar across different learners. So morphemes, the next is syntactic development. So the syntactic development researchers also explore how learners acquire more complex aspect of language, such as forming negative sentences or asking questions. They found that learners go through stage how how to uh, pronounce stage in acquiring these structures similar to the stage seen in first language acquisition. So this means that while there are difference in the final outcomes, like different way of forming question. So in summary, um, learner second language learning research has evolved from comparing languages to studying learner mistakes and understanding the process of learning. Um, so, what else? Mm, so, I read. I also read about uh, Christian Cra- Christian's theory of Christians. Uh, if I remember, uh, is called Christian's theory of second language acquisitions, and there are discuss about acquisition versus learning. So acquisition, the natural way we learn a language is think of how children learn their first language and they pick, pick it up by being around people who speak it through conversation and through exposure to the language in everyday situation. They don't consciously think about grammar rules, and they just get used to hearing and speak and using the language naturally. So a different learning. This is more formal and happens in classroom setting, and learner focus on understanding and memorizing the rules of the language and like grammar, rules, and vocabulary lists and uh, grammar rules and vocabulary lists. So Christian suggests that these two processes are different. So acquisition happens naturally, and while learning is involved, conscious like we trying to show effort to understand language rules. So what else? Uh, maybe uh, uh, maybe the last I remember about the material is about hypothesis, and according to before Russian, the monitor hypothesis. Monitor is a tool we use when we're we're aware of language rules after we have acquired the basic of the language. We can use the monitor to check and correct our speech or writing. For example, if you know the rule or using past tense verbs and uh, past tense verb, you can use the monitor to make sure you're applying it correctly when speaking or writing. So, and however, in real time conversation, there isn't always enough time to use the monitor effectively. So, which means we might make mistakes even if we know the rules. So maybe that's all for me about the second language learning in the brief story and research. And thank you.